In this session, we are going to be learning about blade templating. And first of all, if we look at our pages and index, about, and services, we have several similar HTML codes. And as you can see with this representation here in this graphical, in these images, you're gonna see that from the doc type HTML here and to the div opening tag here, and from the closing div tag here to the closing HTML tag here are the same for all files. From the index, about, and services, these codes are similar. And the reason why we're going to be talking about the blade templating, as you can see, and on this, only the page contents are different. And for the index page, we have welcome to the Laravel 7 projects as Laravel 7.x projects. And for the services page, we have only welcome to the services page. For the about page, we have welcome to the about page. Now, that means only the contents are different. Other cards are similar. And the reason why we are going to learn the blade templating is because it avoids the repetition of HTML codes on several pages. And to avoid this problem, we will create a Laravel file where we will put similar HTML codes. Thus, our pages, index, about, and the services with their contents will extend from this file in order to avoid the repetition of the HTML codes. Blade templating package installations. As you can see, if you want, for example, to install the blade templating package, you need just to tap first of all this short command, Control P, and you're gonna say in your Visual Studio Code, and just you're gonna put ext install Laravel blades, then press enter. So this is what we're gonna see in this session. So let us talk about blade templating here. And as you can see, we are going to create a file, a folder, a file in which we are going to put all similar HTML codes. Because as you can see, for the index, from the index page, if we look at the index page, we're gonna get a lot of similar code from the doc type HTML until here to the div. To the opening tag of our div opening tag, and from the closing div tag to the closing HTML tag, we have the same thing everywhere, and only the content which are different. And then we are going to use the blade templating, and the blade templating will help us to avoid the repetitions of the HTML codes, because as you can see, if we look at to the index, to the about, and to the services page, all these codes are the same, but only the contents are different. For the index, we have welcome to the Laravel 7.x project. For the about, we have welcome to the about page. For the services, we have welcome to the services page, but other HTML cards are similar. Reason why we are going to create a unique file in which we're gonna put the similar HTML codes, and the index, about, and services pages will then extend from this file in order to avoid the HTML codes repetition. And inside of our views folder, always inside of our views folder, we're gonna create a new folder, and we're gonna name this folder layout. Like this, we're gonna say layouts, and inside of our layouts folder, we're gonna create a new file, and we're gonna call this file app.blade.php, like this. And let us come in our index.blade.php. So we are going to grab all this, we're gonna remove all these similar HTML codes, then we're gonna paste it in our app.blade.php, and we're gonna we're gonna take from the closing, from the div closing tag to the HTML closing tag. We're gonna grab all this, and we are going to paste it here. And as you can see, all our content is here. We can say, for example, content start content, like this, and here we have and contents like this, the end of our contents. And here we have all our contents, and all the contents are different. And I'm gonna back in my index.blade.php like this, and I'm gonna come also to the about, and I'm gonna remove all these. Let us remove, and I'm gonna leave only the content. I'm gonna do the same thing for the services. I'm gonna remove all this, and we're gonna get only the content like this. And the desire is to extend from app.blade.php with to extend all similar HTML codes from the app.blade.php. Reason why we are going to be talking about Blade templating. So you need to download to install the Blade templating package. So let us first of all tap Ctrl P, and you're gonna say ext, and you're gonna say install Laravel dash blade like this, then press enter. So let us come here on the left side here. Let us wait for a couple seconds. You're gonna see we get all this. We have Laravel blades, and we have Laravel snippets, and we are going to be installing the Laravel blade snippets. And in my case, I have already installed this. Reason why you can see I have this button here, manage. And if you didn't say install it, you're gonna see this button install. And if I click on this button, you can see they say you can disable because I have already installed it. In your case, you're gonna click on install in this Laravel blade snippets, and then you're going to import, for example, your Laravel blade templating package in your project. And if I can delete first of all uninstall, I say for example uninstall, and as you can see I say for example reload required. My Laravel, my blade templating package is uninstalled from my machine. And here I'm gonna back. Yes, let us back. As you can see, our comment is directly changed like this. It is now uncolored, and I can say here, and let us first of all close this, and we're gonna back after. And as you can see, we have it. And what is the desire? The desire is the index.blade.php extends the app.blade.php in order to extend all these similar code. So how to do that? I'm gonna come here to the index. I'm gonna put 8. I'm gonna say extend, and here I'm gonna say you will extend the app.blade.php. And if we go back in our project, you should see our app.blade.php is inside of our layouts folder. So you need first of all to put layouts, which is the layouts folder, and here we're gonna say app like this. And after that, you're gonna put a net section. You're gonna say add section like this, section. And here you're gonna say content. Yes, only the contents which is different and which is different. And here we're gonna say end section like this. This is our section. Yes, as you can see, only the contents which are different. And we're gonna do the same thing with the about page. The about page will also extend from the layouts.app, and here we're gonna say the same thing for the services. Just close your section. We're gonna say end section, and in the about page we're gonna say end section like this, and then save. And if we back here, this is the services page, and as you can see we have slash. We have only the navbar, the similar HTML code, but we do not have the contents. And then we should import the contents. we are going to come to the app.blade.php, and we are going to put our content here. We're going to say add yet, and here we are going to call the content. As you can see, this content is everywhere we have about in the services page and the index page, and we're going to take this content in order to view our content every time we need it. And we're going to come to our app.blade.php. We're going to say here content, and here we're going to call yet function, and I'm going to save like this. I'm going to back, and I'm going to reload first of all. Here I have it like this, and then if I put about, yes, if I put services, and if I put about, and I'm gonna get all this. But as you can see, we don't have I have uninstalled the blade templating package. Reason why you can see all these are uncolored, and let us tap Control P. I'm gonna say ext install Laravel dash blade. Then I'm gonna press enter. So let us look for Laravel snippets like this here, and let us click on install. Yes, you can see we have Laravel snippets here, and reason why you can see there directly, we have the package is installed. And if we go back in our app.blade.php, you should see directly our code is colored. That means we have installed the blade templating package in our project. Very simple and very clear. And if we go back to the services page, you should see all these are colored. If we go back to the about, and if we come to the index.blade.php, we're gonna see that we're gonna get the same thing. Very clear and very simple. And as you can see, if we go back to our app.blade.php, where we have all our HTML code, all our similar HTML codes, we can say, for example, here we have a navbar here, and the desire is to create another file in which we're gonna put our navbar in order to use the include function. Okay, I think that it is something where we have already used it with PHP, and I'm gonna create a new file in the layout here. I don't think that I'm gonna create any folder. I'm gonna call this folder include. This is for the include function, and I'm gonna say new file, and I'm gonna call this file, for example, I'm gonna say new file. I'm gonna call this file, for example, navbar.blade.php, and I'm gonna come here in my app.blade.php. I'm gonna grab all this navbar. and I'm gonna paste it in my navbar.blade.php. I'm gonna save. Let us come back here, and here where we had our navbar, and we are going to call the include function like this, include, and I'm gonna say layout. Now our include function is in our nav, which is our navbar is in the include function. And if we want to take this, and here it is just a code you have put in a certain file. You do not have to put the extends method or the add section, because here we need just to include a certain file. So I'm gonna back here, and I'm gonna say include. So I'm gonna say my navbar is in include folder, and the name is navbar like this. And we don't have to put the yet function, because the yet function is when we want, for example, to extend the HTML similar code. But here we need just to include a certain code that we have removed here, in order to do not have several codes in the same page. Here we have include.navbar, and let us first of all remove this. If I remove this and I go back here, and if I reload the page, you should see I'm going to lose the navbar. And if I go back, I put include.navbar and I save and I go back here, you should see I'm gonna get my navbar. Very simple and very easy. And another thing I'm going to tell you is, for example, the desire is if I put, for example, /about, the desire is to have also the title here, for example, about. And if I put services, the desire is to have services. If I put home, the desire is also to have our title services. So we are going always to use the blade templating. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to come in my index resource here where I have my home page. I'm going to add a new section. I'm going to say add section. And I'm going to call this section title like this. And I'm going to close my section and section like this. And here, inside here, I'm going to say, for example, home like this. And I'm going to copy all this. I'm going to come to the about page. I'm going to say with the same name, title, and here the name should change. We're going to get about. And I'm going to come also to the services. I'm going to say services like this. And how to extend all this, we are going to come in our app.blade.php by taking this title, which is the name. Everywhere we have title, and I'm going to come in my app.blade.php and I'm going to remove the Laravel 7.x. I'm going to use the blades like this, and I'm going to say here no, I'm going to call just the yet function, yes, like this. And here I'm going to say title. Then I'm going to extend all this title. And if I back and reload the page, by default we have the about. You should see we're going to get the about here. And if I put slash, which is for the home, we're going to get home here. And if I put services, we're gonna get services here. Very simple and very easy. And let us back also. So the desire is, if I click on home, the desire is to be redirected to the home page. If I click on about, the desire is to be redirected to the about. If I click on services, the same thing. And we are going to do it. So let us back here. We're gonna come in our navbar, because in the navbar we have all this. We have like this. Okay. And I'm gonna remove this. I'm gonna say URL return to, and here you're gonna put what you have in your root file like this, because if we want, for example, to return the home page, we have to put slash. And the reason why you have to put slash here for the about page, for the home page, here if we want to be redirected to the home page, because if you put slash, once you click on home page, you are going to come in your web.php, which is our root file, and you are going to be execute what you have created in your home function, which is in the pages controller. The same thing like this. And here we're gonna add another. We're gonna say for the about, you're gonna set your URL here. The same thing. You have to put the same thing with what you have put in your root file like this. And here we're gonna say services. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna back here. I'm gonna reload the page. And if I click on home, you should see I'm gonna get home here, and I'm redirected to the home page. If I click on about, I'm redirected to the about page. If I click on services, I'm redirected to the services page. Goodbye.